too many stories about the hundreds of thousands in our country who have lost their lives to COVID, but there are also many incredible stories of survival. My next guest was 26 weeks pregnant in a coma, fighting for her life when staff delivered her baby girl. Crazy. Everybody, let's welcome Monique. Hi, Monique.
Hi.
Hi. You have an incredible story. I was floored just reading about the whole thing. First of all, virtually meet Peter and Jennifer. Say hey.
Hi.
Hello, buddy.
Peter, I'm
Hi.
such a big fan. Just say, Jennifer, I love you too.
All right, well, Monique, before we hear what happened, can you tell us how you and baby Zamira are doing?
Me and Zamara, we're doing great. I hold her all day when she's awake. When she sleep, I put her back in her crib. She's growing just like any other normal baby, even though she's still little. But I have my good days, I have my bad days. Doing therapy with my legs. They're sometimes weak and they sometimes good. I just have good and bad days, but we're doing great. Every day is a progress for us.
Yeah, well, it's amazing that you look at it as progress, you know, and keep that optimism. I'm sure you have to have. I'm just curious, what was going through your mind? Because I've been pregnant as well, and I can't imagine being pregnant and then all of a sudden finding out. First of all, you just you got COVID, and then also you've got this little baby inside of you that you're worried for as well. Like, what happened?
So September 4th, when I was diagnosed with COVID, in my mind, I felt like I knew I had it because of the way I was feeling. So as soon as I got to the hospital, they said I was positive. I was very nervous because it's this deadly virus and anything can happen. Some people don't survive. A lot of people have been dying from it. So when a doctor tell you in your face, well, if you don't get put on a ventilator or intubated, you could die, like today or tomorrow. And if going through my mind, it was just like, what's important to me right now is my daughter. I mean, if I have to lose my life, that's what I will have to do just to save her. But I was really scared at the moment because I told them I didn't want to consent on them taking my baby out. But as I was starting to get worse, I couldn't take it anymore. So I'm like, do what you have to do to make sure that my daughter lives.
Wow.
And when I woke up, I didn't know what was going on. I was very confused because I didn't even know what day it was. And then when they told me a month later, I woke up at least by October 5th. And I went September 4th, so I was upset, confused, and when they told me that my baby was born, I was very excited and happy, but I was also upset at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, I mean, as someone who's had children, like, that's a beautiful moment, you know, and to wake up. I mean, I can imagine when you did wake up, you were excited and thrilled that your baby was fine and had made it. But at the same time, like, you know, you miss that moment, like right when it happens in the hospital and that got ripped from you. And I can't even imagine that. You say that it was actually a nurse, right, who actually got you through a lot of this before, you know, going into that coma and then afterwards, right?
Yes, her name is Caitlin. I didn't really know too much of her. I just know when I was like half awake, when I was on oxygen, I kept tapping on the window, and she came in the room and asked, was I okay? I had told her I wanted to be back on the bed, but once I couldn't really breathe, I said no. She had me put me back in my chair, and after that, that was the only thing that I remember. So when I woke up, I didn't really remember Caitlin until when I went to rehab, and then they had a surprise for me. And then when they brought her name up to me, it didn't really ring a bell until I saw her face.
We actually have Caitlin on the line, so let's bring her into the conversation. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Kelly. How are you?
I'm blown away. This is like the craziest story of survival, not only for one person, but two, for little Zamira and Monique. So, Caitlin, among all your patients, first of all, thank you so much. Let me lead with that, just for being so helpful in such a scary time for everybody. Our nurses, our doctors, our first responders, our frontline workers, all of y'all have just been godsent. So thank you, first of all, for that. And secondly, among all your patients, what made you connect so much with Monique?
Yeah, Monique briefly spoke about kind of our first interaction. She came into the ICU, and it's not always the case that you get to talk to somebody before they go on the vent. So I feel like I connected with Monique from the beginning. She was up in the chair, like she said, and she was on the max amount of oxygen before being put on the vent. And she was just scared. She didn't want to be intubated at the time. And it was just, she's only a year older than I am. Sorry if I get emotional. Whew. From the beginning, I just had a heart for her. And then, of course, you add a baby inside, that's another dynamic of taking care of a patient. And so that night, Monique had agreed to be intubated, which she then had to go on ECMO. And so I just connected with her just because I couldn't imagine being in her shoes. I guess it was probably the closest patient that I've had that could be me. I could be pregnant and I could be fighting for my life as well as my daughter's. It was very evident from the beginning that Monique would do anything for Zamira. And but I'm so glad that we're here today and, that she's able to experience motherhood.
Yeah, absolutely. So Caitlin, once Monique and her daughter were in the clear, you did something special, right?
Yeah, so all along I had just a thought, like I said, about being in her shoes. And, she didn't expect to come to the hospital and have a baby. So once I knew that her and Zamira were going to be okay, I was like, she deserves the biggest party, baby shower, celebration there is. And so I just kind of reached out, obviously to my coworkers, other people that worked at the hospital, friends, families, people that didn't even know Monique were very generous. And we were able to provide pretty much anything that you'd probably need for her newborn as well. She was just progressing so quickly that after she had Zamira that she got discharged to rehab, where we threw her a baby shower. It was very special for many reasons, just a celebration of her life, Zamira's life. So it was really special, as well as the generosity of strangers. At the end of the baby shower, we were able to also hand her an envelope with $2,000 for some expenses or whatever she needs.
Wow, that's amazing. And Monique, now Caitlin has taken on another important role in you and your daughter's life, right?
Yes. She's the godmother of my daughter because I felt like I never really felt that close to somebody, even though I was laying in the hospital bed. I just felt positivity around me for some reason when I was laying there. I didn't know what was real, what was fake, but I know I didn't have no bad feelings around me. And when she told me that she used to call up to the hospital, even on her days off, and just to check up on me. So I really felt she was one of the reasons why I was fighting, other than my family. So I really wanted to honor her. But she didn't have to do that.
No, I mean, that's definitely above and beyond, but also, man, Caitlin, that's quite an honor to be named godmother. That's pretty cool.
It is. I kind of thought she was joking when she first asked me. I was like, it feels like an official invite to her family for life, which is something really special that I don't get with any of my patients. And so it's been like a true honor to be able to be involved in Monique's life. I tell her all the time, I'm like, I needed you more than you needed me. She doesn't believe me, but it's true. So it's just been a beautiful experience altogether.
Oh, I love this story. I think you're right, though, too, Caitlin. I think we all do come in each other's lives at certain points for certain reasons, and we do learn from each other when really, even your children, like I learn from my kids still, and they're like 4 and 6, but I do think every human on this planet, serves their purpose and in relationships as well. Monique, there's something you'd like to say to Caitlin, right?
Yes, I just want to thank you. Just thank you for being there. You went above and beyond on your job. You didn't have to, but you did. And I don't know if you ever got to be noticed at what you do at your job, but clearly now you're getting a lot of attention. And I just feel like you deserve it. I feel like you had kind of a a bad year dealing with COVID, and you really did your best. They're trying to save all your patients, and you saved me and my daughter. So
Oh my gosh. Well, Pete, I know I'm like, whoop, I'm not gonna cry. She's gonna kill me, my makeup artist. Peter and Jennifer, what do you want to say to Monique and Caitlin?
I would say that in a world full of misguided behavior these days, that these two are a shining example of how we should be and how we should treat each other. I'm just so happy that they've made friends, and that they have each other. Like, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful story.
Yeah. What about you, Jennifer?
Yeah, I want more. I just love that you have this story on the show today, because I don't know. I can't get, I stay off my phone now. There's just so many bad stories. That's all that's being put out there. And I just, what an incredible story from, just from all the levels of just, of gratitude, and a nurse that went out of her way that much. And then that you survived this, and you were so strong, and that you were, just really a noble woman, and I need more of this. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's my point. This whole story is incredible, but what we love to do on this show is actually bring incredible stories like this, because I feel like we do hear just all the bad. And like, while you need to be informed, you also need to be informed of everything happening. And sometimes I don't feel like we're informed of everything happening, as far as it's not all bad. Like, there's some really great people out there doing really great things. Thank you so much, guys. And we wanted to do something special for Caitlin, just to surprise her, but she actually said absolutely not, and we weren't allowed to. So instead, we've decided to do something for Caitlin, Monique, and her whole family. So when it's safe to travel, we're going to send all of you on a 5-day trip to Westgate Town Center Resort in Orlando. It's the perfect resort for an action-packed Florida adventure, located just minutes away from all the world-famous Orlando amusement parks. You'll experience spacious villas, miniature golf, a water park. Ooh, I love a water park. And so much more. And everybody needs this kind of break. So I can't wait for things to get back to normal, and you can actually experience this. Or would you be into this kind of vacation?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Both of you physically just leaned into your cameras. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Well, we hope that y'all have such a good time, and thank you so much for being such beautiful spirits and showing us the beautiful side of humanity. We need that, like Jennifer said, more than ever right now.